Guys, welcome back. If you're new here, my name is Smitha. Welcome to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to be sharing a step-by-step process on how to achieve that cake-free, flawless, full coverage base using only drugstore products. It almost looks like you have a filter on your face, and that's why I'm only doing it on half of my face so you can see how the texture changes with each step and we can compare the two sides. So if you're ready, let's begin. If you want the makeup application to be smooth, you need to have a smooth surface, and for that you need to exfoliate your face to remove any dead cells or dead skin that's sitting on the topmost layer. Today I made my own scrub by mixing some ground oatmeal with yogurt, and I'm gently scrubbing my face. You can DIY your scrub or get what's in the store, and make sure you scrub your face once or twice a week. And while we are at it, let's go ahead and scrub the lips as well. I'm just using a lippy scrub from ColourPop. The product information will be in the description box right below this video. The next step is to moisturize. For my lips, I'm just using a lip balm from Wet n Wild. And on my face, I'm using the Physicians Formula 24 Karat Moisturizer. This is their brand new one. On an everyday basis, I usually use Aveeno. It suits all skin types and it's so moisturizing on the face. Soon after moisturizer, I always use a sunblock. And the one that I use every day is Think Baby. This has an SPF of 50, but it's very mild on your skin because it's really meant for babies. The next step is to use a primer, and the one that I'll be using today is the NYX Studio Perfect Primer. This is a pore and line filling primer. So it's going to get into all those pores and fine lines, which is common and normal to have with every skin type. And it's going to fill all those pores. So it's like filling potholes before you start driving, so you get that smooth surface. And primers also form a sticky base, which means any makeup that you apply over a primer sticks on the primer, making it long lasting. Now, because we're going for that full coverage filter-like look, it is important to color correct to even out your skin tone, especially if you have dark circle and uneven skin tone like me. Today, I'm going to be using a peach or a very light orange corrector from Coastal Scents. If you have a deeper skin tone, go for a deeper tone of orange. If you have a lighter skin tone, use lighter shades of peach or orange. And I'm going to apply it with a brush in areas where I have that uneven skin tone. The brush that I'm using is a flat, fluffy brush from Hip Dot. So I'm just going to apply it like I'm painting those areas with the color corrector. And you can already compare the two sides and see what a difference it has made. It has neutralized all the darkness and all the uneven skin tone and brought it back to your normal skin tone. So it has evened out your skin tone. If you're not applying any eye makeup, you can use it on your lids as well. But if you're applying eye makeup, the eyeshadows will cover the uneven skin tone, so you don't really need it. Now, this is a very important step to set your color corrector with some loose powder. I'm not asking you to cake up, just very little, just dust it on top so it kind of settles down. And the powder that I'm using is Airspun. By setting it, you're preventing it from mixing with the foundations and the concealers that you will apply on top of it. Otherwise, your face will have that orange or that peach tinge to it if you do not set it. And now the face is ready for foundation, and I'm using one of my drugstore favorites. This is the Maybelline Superstay, and I'm in the shade Golden. I'm just taking a drop because we're just going to apply it on one side of our face. This is full coverage, and it's a dupe for Huda Beauty Faux Filter. It's called Faux Filter for a reason, and as you can see, it makes such a big difference, and it is full coverage. So all you need is very little. And I'm using a damp sponge to gently press the product on top of my skin. Usually when I apply color correctors, I use a damp sponge. If you use a brush, sometimes it can tug and pull the product from beneath and mix it with the foundation. But on my neck, because we don't really have a color corrector, I'm just going to use a kabuki brush. This one is from Real Techniques. I have super dry skin, but this foundation looks fabulous without caking up. And I've also heard from oily skin types as well as normal skin types that it looks great on them as well. You can already see it makes such a big difference. And now it's time to do some patch and spot correction. And for that, you will need a concealer. My favorite concealer is the Milani concealer, and always use your skin tone. My skin tone is in the shade 145, which is warm beige. I'm going to use it in areas where I feel like there is some uneven skin tone still peeking through. On a regular basis, I don't do this. I'm okay with some of the uneven skin tone showing through. This is particularly for people who want that full flawless coverage, especially if you're attending a special event or a wedding. And always remember to use a skin tone concealer first to conceal, and then if you want to highlight, you can use a lighter concealer, a couple shades lighter than your skin tone, but do it only after you've concealed. If you use a light color concealer directly to conceal the uneven skin tone, it's going to turn ashy or gray and give you that ghost face. After I've blended everything out with the damp sponge, I'm going to use the same sponge and dip it in some loose powder to set my face. I like loose powders with a little bit of tint to it for two reasons. One, it's not going to give you flashbacks, and second, it's going to give you more coverage without caking up because it's a loose powder and not a pressed powder. So I'm going to dip the same sponge in some Dermacol loose powder, and I'm going to gently start pressing this over my face, first in areas where I use the concealer to prevent it from creasing, and then throughout the face and neck wherever I apply the foundation. The final step is to use a makeup extender or a setting spray. I'm using this one from L'Oreal. It's going to do two things for you. One, it's obviously going to make your makeup long lasting. And two, it's going to melt all the powders that you've used on your face and it'll bring it down to your skin texture. So it's going to make it look more like skin. So it gives you a more natural look as opposed to a very powdery or caked up look. I'm going to quickly apply some mascara and lipstick and I'll be right back. And here is the completed look. You can see what a huge difference it makes. It looks absolutely stunning, especially in photography. When I used to freelance a couple of years ago, these are exactly the same steps I used to follow on every single bride. I would skin prep about 15 days in advance, and on the day of the wedding, I would do the same exact thing. I hope you enjoyed this video and I hope you learned something new. Thumbs up if you did. For your information, I'm listing all the products that I used in the description box right below this video. You'll also find my socials there. So if you're not already following me on Instagram and Facebook, maybe it's time to. I love you guys so much and I will see you soon with a brand new one. Bye guys.